Stand by for an important weather alert. Good. You've reached the shelter. Use the terminal to run diagnostics to see what's wrong.
Okay, so you kind of have the same problem with propane as you have with exploding death burst. Wait for the bees to stop. Right, let's heal this up.
Sorry.
If we were just to use this with exploding death burst, everything, this would all disappear, right? But if we set this up, is this full impact? 2 reload speed. Let's set this up. I'll do. Oh, don't worry about it. It's cool. Seriously, it's cool. It's cool. I'm not using oxidized. I'm just using 106s because I've got loads of stuff for that. Don't worry about it. Do a different one of these. You don't need to trap up for this. I'm just going to show you the traps. How I now trap up my. You can solo level 100 4-player this way with 2 of these. These trap tunnels are intense. Right, okay, so now we've got our trap tunnel. You think exploding death burst and propane are a problem. Not anymore. Because what you do is you do this. Now your traps can take 1 whole propane without being touched. Alright. If we could go and find some husks to bring through it, and you'll see what I mean. Yep, no one else is doing this at all. Let's go and get some husks, and you'll see what I mean. Where are they? Come on. And then if you really want to go even further, you do this. You put the hardest hitting trap you've got at the very end. The 60 degrees make any trap OP, like any trap. And then all you gotta do is go and fix the 60 degrees inside, but your trap's unharmed. And the roof from your trap's unharmed. And then, you know, if you want to go a bit further and secure everything, you could put your roofs on like that so that lobbers can't destroy the actual trap. Yeah, everything triggers. Absolutely everything triggers through the 60 degrees. The only thing that doesn't is a wall, a ceiling drop trap. Everything triggers. And everything is protected.
Negative.
Traps, no problem. This is everything that I've learned from playing Frostnight, by the way. Everything I've learned, testing out, trying new things. This is OP. It makes the 60 degrees make any trap OP. But even this way, look. Right, now we can go in, heal up, everything's all good. So, if you really want to screw, let's find a taker. Let's find takers. Let's not bother. We don't have to bother with the mission. Let's see if we can find a taker. Because how you handle takers now. You just need to find one that's asleep first, because otherwise... Got one here. Got to take it here. Oh shit. Also got an encampment here. Be careful, the taker's the other side of this thing I've just built. Hopefully the encampment should go back to sleep. Hold on a second. We need to get. I think we need to clear the encampment, otherwise we're not going to be able to show. I'm not show you. Come on. Because you've got to see what happens to this taker through this. All right, let's go and get this taker. Okay, we got it. Right, you ready to see this? What happens with takers? Come on, right, watch. Don't shoot. Just go through this. Stand here and wait for the taker to come and watch what happens. We just need to back off. Look, back off, back off, back off, back off, back off. That's how you control takers. With these. They get stuck in teleport mode underneath them. Anything. This screws with everything's head. Right, let's get the blaster down here. Come on. Back off, let's back off this way and get him down. Right, he's now down. Now run back through. Come back through here and watch what happens to him. they get confused and start walking around in circles round them because they can't get an angle on you because of the way that their AI works.
Can't. Negative.
And then again, you can reduce like complete line of sight by using so there's no way that you can get shot from a blaster on the other side because they just don't have line of sight of you. Okay, smashers charge this, they don't charge this. You can hide behind this, you can't hide behind this. The other thing is that both this and this wall darts will fire through this and this. And you can stand behind it while there's a smasher, a propane, anything there, and they can't see you. Therefore, you're not getting hurt and you can pop out and hit them. Pop out and hit them. Just go and get a husk and you see it triggers through it. And also, the wall darts trigger through this as well. Just go get a husk.
Taker here.
Plus, it makes them walk across the longest part of the tile. Because walking from diagonal to diagonal is longer than walking from here to here. So they spend more time on whatever trap tile it is that you've got. And then if you want to go, yeah, you can use that. That's the other way that you do it. This screws with their heads as well. This here, just this type of floor. Smashers beat down on this floor. They beat down on it the same as they beat down on these 60 degrees, holding them underneath the traps for longer. All mist monsters act differently around these tiles. It's like it screws with their AI or something. This here would have them walking around in circles, like walking around this in circles. So if we did this here too. So these fire off through the 45 degrees. So the traps that fire off through 45 are wall lights. So if we could put wall darts here on this side here, and they would fire through the 45 degree. Wall lights fire through the 45 degree. So do the ceiling zappers. But let's put a zapper. I've got a 25 one here. A 1, power level 1. That works.
Time to build.
That works. No, they're exactly the same. In fact, you know, every single trap works through these things because this makes the 60 degree, right? Okay, so if you were to do this, right, gas traps work through that. Wall darts work through that. Wall darts also work through that. And so do gas trap. Well, gas traps obviously work over the top of it. But gas traps won't work through that. Only the ceiling zapper works through 45 degrees, like this. So you could get rid of this. And put your... That's all the same. They have the same HP, they have the same everything. But it's easier to edit a roof piece than it is to edit a stair. So you just can go, you know, you can very easily just like that. Yep. But what you could also do is a wall punch on there and pushing them into there. Anything that and these trigger at different times. So this one is one with 1 reload speed. This one's one with 2 reload speeds. This is one with 1 reload speed. This will go off more often than this, and they'll go off at different times, sending some up there and some into here at different times. So you'd kill more husks. Yeah, 100%. You could even do this. One sec, let me and take them all the way up to the build limit, and they die instantly. If you take them all the way up to build height, they die instantly at build height. Does the wall light work through? I'm not sure how it triggers, but I only use it to trigger like in one square tile. They destroyed it. This is only a power level 1 zapper, so it's not going to be any good. No, wall darts do not trigger propane. Go and get a propane, you'll see. No trap triggers propane. None. Propane are only triggered by 3 things. 1, the objective. Right, there's a propane. No, it's not a propane, it's a fire hose.
Little building.
Storm chest. Where's the propane? Might as well do that. Go for it.
Sorry. Can't. Negative. Weapons! Thank you.
Yeah, they walk up all of these. Hosts will walk up every one. The only thing they don't walk up is this. Or that.
Nope.
They won't walk up this. If we did this, they might come up here and beat on this, but they don't walk up here. They will walk up this. They will You've got to be careful when using this, because if they can see the roof, they will try and walk up this. So you block it with the with that or that. That or that. Because for some reason they follow this, they don't see it as an obstruction. Smasher doesn't charge. These are smasher proof floors. Smasher won't charge these. It will beat down on it first. I've tested all of this. Wall darts fire through this. Putting wall darts on there, they'll fire through this hole. So you could put wall lights around the outside of that and have wall darts on the back. But then you could also have that in between the wall darts and the wall lights. Yeah, a smasher will charge that. Elements affect the building material. So water husks do double damage to brick, fire husks do double damage to wood, and nature husks do double damage to metal. No defender's a good defender. If there was going to be a good defender, not including the sniper, it would be brawler, because they don't set off propane. A melee defender wouldn't set off propane, whereas every other defender will set off propane. What do you mean? The melee defender? Do they headshot or body? They headshot, but or they go for the headshot. Oh, rifle. They always go for the headshot, so the chances of them hitting propane is high. The same as a shotgun defender, really high for hitting propane. A sniper with a neon sniper or an obliterator is really bad for hitting propane. So the reason, I was going to tell you, the reasons why propane throw are, the first reason is the objective. They've reached the objective. They will throw within 3 tiles of the objective. The second reason they throw propane is because they are obstructed. If they meet an obstruction, whether that be another husk or a player-built wall, whatever, they will throw their propane at it. If it's an obstruction, even if it's another, say a smasher's blocking the way because he's frozen, and there's no other way for that propane to get through, it will throw its propane at that husk. That's what they're. And then the third is you. If you're within a 3-tile radius and it can see you, it will try and throw it at you. If it can't see you within a 3-tile radius, it's not that much of a problem. If it can't see you within a 1-tile radius, that's a problem. It knows you're there and it will throw its propane at you. Don't get me wrong, I've been as close as this to a propane and he's not thrown at me before, but that's because he's been interrupted or he's already picked another target. As long as you get out of the way before he locks onto you, then you're okay. Propane's quite slow to change its target, just like one of the the bone lobbers, the baseball guys. They're slow to throw at their target. But once they're locked on, you're screwed. They're throwing propane. And the worst one is the Frost Knight, wave 20, 22 and 23 are both super propane waves, so you've got to clear your base of propane. Otherwise everything goes boom and you've lost everything. No, I don't have. I've started too late to have any of the old weapons perks. But they're supposed. Some of them are supposed to be really good. I was given a Krypton sword that had 99% crit rating, so every hit was a crit hit. And the crazy thing is it didn't have any critical rating perks. It was, and they were all blue perks as well, like blue and green perks, not anything good. It worked. I used it. Somebody gave me it. You can have this. You helped me out. You can have this. It was really good, and it had obviously the Krypton Sword is an energy weapon. Now you get the thing saying the energy perk. It didn't even have the energy perk option on it because it was innately energy. Have you learned something today? Yeah, that's what it was like. Yeah, like Night. That's it. 94% crit chance, and they're all like green rolls. I'm nicking your stuff. What do you mean? Do I think it can't? I think it still works. Yeah, of course it works. Can you make those still like that, or is that one that you've got? Can you craft them? You just haven't reperked it. Because if you reperk it, you'll be... Is that how it came as well, or did you reperk it? Here, look at this. Come and have a go with this. This is crazy. You play with a raider with that, and oh my god, you're doing like 4 million headshots, crit hits. There you go. The A is the K. just making a coffee. The hero that's the understatement. There really isn't an understatement. You've got OP characters and then you've got very weak characters. But you know, Pathfinder gets a bad rap, right? Because the majority of those people are selfish. And because of that, I would probably say Pathfinder is the understatement. Because they're pretty good. They've got phase shift, they've got a teddy bear, you know, they can do an all-round thing, but they get a bad rap because most people who play them are selfish and just go and farm, instead of utilising the traits that that particular Outlander has to help the team. Because what they should really do is they should go and get those llamas and bring those llamas back to the constructor who's building and play their part in the team. You know, if they're not going to build and they're not going to do something, they should be utilising the capabilities of the Outlander to provide a better service to the others in the team. I mean, that's how you do Frostnight, or what was Survive the Storm back when they first brought it out, because it's the same mechanics as Survive the Storm. But you know, you've got I don't know, it's difficult. I really like Reclaimer. Reclaimer's my favourite. Frag Flurry's my favourite. Yeah. Because they just go and farm instead of providing the service. Because in theory, what that person should do is get the mats that are required to make the traps that you're going to use in that mission. So Frostnight is the perfect world of Save the World, where everybody arrives in the mission with next to nothing. Everybody's got to go and farm for their stuff. Everybody's got to work together to deliver an outcome. The same with the Horde. You start off with a base, everybody gets a certain amount of mats, you work together to provide the best defences for that one particular thing that you're defending. That's the pure game that is tower defence that we buy into. The rest is just all the culture that's created from it, of how people treat the game mechanics or treat the game, which you get the scamming, you get, you know, just, it's the culture and not necessarily the pure game. That's why a lot of people don't do well in the events, because they don't know how to play the game. Yeah. But the thing is, so I'll send you the picture of our final position in our final position in Frostnight.
Sorry.
Fucking hell! 21 million survivor XP. Oh my god. And 151 legendary troll stash llamas. Oh my god, you're absolutely insane. You mean they get 5k in combat? But those, see the thing is, right, those... are 5k material. But like I said, there's a lot of garbage players that got carried to Twine. They didn't have to play the game and learn. That's something I don't think anyone can explain. Some people feel the need that, I don't know. Some people are just not team players, they're just in it for themselves. When, you know, this game is so much easier when you play it as a duo or as a trio or as a squad. In fact, this game is so easy when you play as 4 players and you know what you're doing. You don't need to be selfish. Everybody gets something from everything if everybody takes part. Yeah, actually, there's the Germans are pretty bad for that, and sometimes the French are too. You got him. The French are really bad for simple English and not understanding it. Or that, you know. I don't know. It's always the same. So the way I see it is if I play as a constructor, I can't farm materials quickly, so therefore the people in the game should really help you farm. Look, that triggered. The trap does trigger. Yeah. That's very true. Because it lags out, so if you put too many of these up, people don't know how to use it. So look, watch, you can do this. This is great. This is fun to do. So it is that trap is a bit shit, really. But I'll show you this. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Looks like a bad
5,
storm is in the forecast.
6,
I need to pull you
7,
out before it gets
8.
there. You have 2 days. Good luck.
All right.
Sorry.
Nice. Let's. Just takes a little bit to set this up. Come on, back here. Right, so where is this? Oh, I'm not an outlander. Where is it? Is it that one? It's this one or this one? Because if you put too many of them up, it causes lag. Like, serious lag. I think this is. Is it coming down to this one here? Is it this one here? Right, now we need to get a host to walk on this one here.
Can't.
Come on, Husk. Watch. I wouldn't say anything. I would not say this is. Watch how this works if I didn't know and I hadn't tested it myself. There's some here. I can hear them. We've got a level. Go on and open it. You found it.
A rough time now.
Thank you very much. Ah, caught myself. Right, where I can hear one somewhere. Is he up there? Ah, okay, let's get them. Come on. Where's that building? It's over here. Wait, just get them, come on.
Oh, sweet.
So.
Had a juice. Back in action, baby. Get away from me, husks.
Yep. Because it's falling from a greater height as well, it has more impact when it hits them. You don't realise how much Frostnight consumed my thinking. That all these traps that I'm showing you now and the way to put them together has come out of me playing Frostnight and trying to do the best I can with what I have available. Make everything up until before Frostnight was use traps efficiently. Since Frostnight is how do you use what you have available to you to defeat the hardest husks? How else can you make one trap more potent with another trap? How do you combine the traps you have to get the best effect? Yeah. Oh yeah. Storm shields are a testament to that. You've got all the time in the world to do storm shield and you can create what you want. You're just limited by the amount that you can put there. Why hasn't that fired? What stopped that from firing? Hey! What stopped that from firing? So my full impact launchers will launch them 8 tiles into the air. So if you put your ceiling drop trap 8 tiles in the air, it means it's not triggered by any normal husk going underneath it, only when they're flung up into the air. And because it's only triggering when some are thrown into the air, it means that you reduce the potential for lag from the ceiling drop trap, because if you put too many up for exploding death burst, because you can have it 2 tiles high, and exploding death burst doesn't affect anything over 2 tiles, too many of them can be triggered at once, causing serious lag, you know, like where you see husks well after they're dead. That's if you've got too many of them up and too many are firing off at once. And then if you're getting lots and lots and lots spawn at once as well, then it's even worse. Because you get spawn lag as well as trap lag. The best trap in the game, in my opinion, is the ceiling electric field trap. because all you need to do is go and stick. Every time you play a game, just do this. Right over the spawn and stick sealing electric field traps up. Now, they know about the bugs, but they can't do anything about them because it's the way the mechanics work. Like, you look at the animation that's required for that, okay? It's probably one of the most complex animations that you've got in the game, is the dropping of the tyres, to drop at the right speed, to drop in the right physics, to trigger at the same time. It's a lot of animation. Just like the spawning is a lot of animation and creating of 3D models within the world. And that's the same thing that's happening with that. You get it, I don't know, if you've watched Battle Royale or any of the tournaments in Battle Royale, at the end, when there's lots of people still alive in a very small circle, you get building lag where you can't edit, because there's just too many player-built structures and too many processing things that the game's got to deal with in such a small space. And that's the same issue that we face here, but on a bigger scale, because this game isn't anywhere near the size of Battle Royale. Yeah, like the frame rate lag. Anything else that you want to know about?
Nope.
Yes. Save the World will be their only game in the Fortnite saga at some point, because Battle Royale will die. This is the original game. This is the game that's got longevity. Battle Royale is a drop-in, drop-out game, whereas this is a I'm going to play for some time game. Everything that they're doing at the moment is in a bid to make it go free to play, because they need to get it free to play to get the people who are playing Battle Royale and spending all the money in Battle Royale to come over to Save the World and continue to spend the money on llamas in Save the World.
One day until I pull you out. Finish up what you can.
Yeah. I like it's all prep, it's all strategy, it's thinking ahead. Like how do I defend this objective with this issue or this horde that's coming? And there's many ways you can do it. Like, you know, you could just get over an assault and go and fight it with a gun, or you know, you can fight it with a gun and put down traps, or you can just do it with constructor where you've got no weapon damage whatsoever, so you've got to do everything with traps. So the new thing coming is the lunar event. You mean the lunar characters, the Chinese New Year ones, the Dragon's Roar, the Dragon's Breath, the Dragon's Tooth. That's the new event that's due to come out like next week or the week after. You mean using an app to find the rewards? They should, yeah, they should have. You should be able to set the rewards you want, and it tells you the missions you can do.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Did you know that there's also FortniteDB.com? And FortniteDB are doing the leaderboards. So anybody who searched for their profile in FortniteDB.com, okay, one moment. This link will take you to my profile, but you can just search for yours. Oh no, that goes to a leaderboard, so you can just search for your epic name and you can search the leaderboards. Yeah, can't trade heroes. Yeah, that's a good point. See, the way it should be. But here's the thing, right? At the moment, it's in early access. So anybody who started playing while it's in early access is essentially an old player. I know we've got noobs here, but anybody who's bought it in early access deserves everything that everybody else gets. Once it goes free to play, that's when there'll be the difference. Because none of the free-to-play players will have any of the heroes that the early access guys had.
Oh, hey now.
It's like all early access or founders, people who paid into the game early, are being treated exactly the same. That's why you're having the rerun of all the all last year's all last year's events. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, I suppose they were just able to buy it in the store, right? Yes, you can. So you need to send. You come back. Yeah, you can. You need to send an email to Epic requesting a change, and they'll reset the weapon for you. I thought, when they give us the option to reset weapons just recently, I thought that was the way that they were going to deal with it. Because they had to set up a team of people solely to deal with. Yeah, 100%. A friend of mine changed his blunderbuss from Obsidian to Shadow Shard. No, so you go to support and you open up a support ticket. You go to Epic Games support and you open up a support ticket, and they deal with it in a timely fashion. Now it happens a lot quicker, a lot quicker. It used to be weeks. Now apparently it's days. Yeah, I'm just finding it.
Weapons, my favorite. Negative. Maybe not. Negative.
No, they do it for everything. It's part of the service. That's what I thought. They're giving us the opportunity to reset schematics. We'd sort that out, but they only give us the opportunity to reset schematics that have changed.
Meditate my way out of this. The cat comes back.
Obliterator, neon sniper, ghost pistol. I don't know, is that about it maybe? I think the zap might as well. One of the electric weapons.
Nope.
Thank you very much. But I don't necessarily think that's the case. I just took the time to learn the game. When you play Frostnight, what character do you usually play? Because I see you in Frostnight a lot. Are you trying to work out how to beat it?
I have to pull you out now. Stevon is heading home to recharge. It will return ASAP.
Ah, 3,125 survivor XP, not bad. Only 2 schematic. When you play Frostnight, what character do you usually play? Come to creative with me. Come to creative with me.
Yo. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, this dude, I fucking know this. Yeah, I don't know what you meant, you know what I mean? A new person for you mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, new tactic. Yeah. Yeah. I have. I've invited him. He's going to join in a second. That's. Go on. You need the role. Yeah. Well, before when I asked him earlier because you were busy and I said you fancy doing Fortnite with me because I was trying to get a fourth person because I thought if you and Alex are playing then we need another good fourth person. He says yeah, I'll play it with you on one condition. I goes, what's that? He goes, there's 2 Outlanders, 1 builder and a soldier. And I said, well, that'll just work out about right then, mate, because that's about what we do it as sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Actually, I would say 2 constructors, 2 Outlanders, because that's how we do it.
Well, I said, well, I've got someone who'd be a constructor. And he said, well, either way, I'll be a constructor if you don't want to be, you know what I mean? This is the lad, is it? Yeah, man.
It is, yeah, it is. Right, let's go then. Right, HQ hasn't got a mic, but he's possibly one of the best players I've ever played with.
Yeah. Well, while
he's been playing it a long time.
I just need to work on
left. Why has he left?
I don't know. Oh, maybe he lagged him out a minute. So it looks like he's joining back here. Oh, he can't hear us.
Yo, Jamie.
Elliot, we're doing something, mate. You've just gone in place of somebody who was coming in.
Okay.
Sorry, dude, I'm gonna have to kick you. Do you want to invite him in again?
Yeah, man.
I'll invite him in. How do I change my banner in this? Yeah, well, you use the old Betsy in Frostnight because the old Betsy does a really high amount of impact. So you can shoot a smasher, reducing his impact counter so that the launchers throw him up in the air much easier.
Well, yeah, well, I've just sent him a message playing how come we've left joined again, you know what I mean? I'm just going to run
somebody else joined in his place and then he couldn't get back in. So I've sent him an invite. You sent him an invite. Can you just click ready so we can go in?
What, into the actual game or into your base?
Yeah. No, well, I want to go. I'm going to go and build, and we're going to build what has to be built so you can see how it goes.
What, at your base, you mean?
Well, it'll be in one of these places that's completely empty.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm going to say, because you can build it a second and then...
Yeah, that's it. Click ready then, set yourself ready. Set yourself ready.
Yeah, I'm not even on screen. I don't think I can. I think it's going to lag me out. It's not on. I'm still on Storm Shield based thing.
Have you not left?
I'll leave and rejoin.
Yeah, you got to leave. Sorry about this. We get a team that could do it. These guys are fairly high. All good?
Yeah. Just give me an epic character. It's took me to fucking Battle Royale.
Yeah, well, that, you are in Battle Royale with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's telling me he's got to go and select game mode and then accept the invite.
Hold on. I'm just gonna nip and get that cane, one sec. I'm just gonna nip and get that. Say it. Yeah. Ready up.
You sent me the message. How come you left
That's
again? Is this him? Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's in, ready up. Telling me he needs to select game mode.
What?
Like, because it looks like he's going to done the same thing you did.
What? So like what games?
So we need to like push options, like select game mode, or if you can ready up. If you can hear us, ready up.
Yo. What game modes you wanting?
He needs to go to creative.
Hello?
Hello, he's there, he's really quiet. Ready up.
Yeah, ready up. Zombozas noob. I was sending you a message. He's just gonna explain to you a minute what
we're doing in there. What the strat is.
Yeah. What are you doing? Are you in Battle Royale now, is it?
Well, in creative, you're just gonna build base a bit like you did, just to show what's gonna go off. You know what I mean?
It's free to do it in this one. So you need to go to select game. You might need to, if you can't ready up now, you might need to go select game mode.
Yeah, I know. I can't ready up now. I mean.
Yeah, select game mode, creative, and then.
No, ready up, JC, before you leave.
There you go. I've readied up. Right, I'm gonna leave now, and I'll be back. I'll be 5 minutes stopped.
No worries. Yay! Ready up then, and let's go. Okay, so guys, if you come over to me over here. Over here. Behind you, HQ.
Man, you guys are way over there.
Yeah. So come on over here, because this is the entrance to my island. There's loads of things we can do here, but I'm going to go to one of my islands with nothing there, and I'll build it.
Oh, okay, I can't get past there.
Oh, you know, have you gone into your own portal, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go back to push your options button and go back to Creative Hub. Right, then turn to your right, turn to your, behind you. Over here. That's JC, keep going.
I see you there, yeah.
Yeah, come on out. This is the rift we're going into here. The reason why I've come in, it just costs me nothing to build here.
Yeah, it only cost me about, you know, a couple of thousand wood.
Oh no, this will cost you more than 1,000 wood.
A couple of thousand wood, dude.
No. Yeah, we're talking this is probably going to cost about 10,000 when you see the size of this. And this is how I built it, beat it last night. So, let's start here. So if this is your burner, you do your normal 45-degree style defense. And then we have on the top here, we have a heavy bases base because it gives us a reload speed 30% faster on any trap that's attached to it. Every we build around every edge of the boiler like this, and we open up the top so that it's easy to get in later on. Okay, so this is the main defense around your boiler to start with. You do it in whatever we can to start, because we don't get much mats to start with, so we've got to do it however we can. Start off with just the bottom bit in metal, and then as you go along you get more. Then which way is the south side? So the south side goes out 4. And this side goes out 3. This side goes out 3. This side goes out 3. In the northwest, you've got, where is this? The the northeast.
Hey, Ruby!
you've got a mountain here.
It's actually over one more tile, dude. Yeah.
Is it one more tile over, is it?
Yeah, it's here. Yeah.
No, that's oh, it is, yeah, it is over one more tile, you're right.
Thanks, May. Ring the pillow. I'm struggling. I can't. Oh, you're really. What's Daddy really trying to say? And there's on Battle Royale. Oh, here's okay. Huh? Daddy, I didn't know you were going to ever go Battle Royale again. Well, let me show you.
I'm not on Battle Royale.
Here you are.
I'm not on creative. You okay? Don't you build nothing?
Why are you building?
Yeah, we're just things just showing noob and that.
No,
It's
I'm
bad.
sure it's here.
What is he building?
I'm trying to build the frost
Well,
knight.
tell him. Dad, tell them to give you options and to make it. Tell them to give you options so you can build.
I don't want to.
Yeah, because then you can tell them to put instant break on so you only have to hit the building once. So then you don't have to smash it there for ages.
So there's two. So here's.
When he smashes it, you'll have to hit it normally when you can just tap it once. Ruby, do me a favour. Plug the charger in while that's there for it.
Can you be quiet, please, Jane?
That is the one.
Mum, I'm not going to speak now.
Yeah.
I
Because
can't.
what we do is we put one here. And
I don't realise them.
that's here.
No one realises that. Ruby,
I'm not sure if that's shown or what.
what to do?
Oh, yeah, it is.
That,
It is.
this one mine over there. That's this one. This one ours.
Yeah. Jane.
Oh no,
What?
all the cheeses.
Yeah, okay.
What? Huh? What is it? It's not now. Sort it
No,
out
I'm
for
sure
me.
okay.
Oh, that goes.
Yeah.
You mad? Okay. You sure? Let's put it on there. Not
Okay,
like
so this is your setup pretty much.
let's watch this
Somebody
thing.
else has come.
It's called Big Water Jump Trailer. Let's watch.
Okay, so over here, where the ramp is up,
Hello?
Leave. We don't want you here. Leave. We're just doing something for Frost Night. Sit in the bed.
That's not the kind of house. There's one there. Hey. Hold on. Can I have it, please?
What?
A drink. I needed a
Get a
drink.
cup then.
Please.
Can you send a cup then?
Oh no. I need just a quick drink. I need a drink all day. I'll get you a cup now. Did you get me a drink?
You didn't give me one now. And I didn't think.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Crazy. What is he doing? I don't even know.
Just showing noob and that his design.
You
Fair.
It's called New Block. Move past.
Yeah. Don't know if you remember, Kane. Remember me being friendly about called Zomboza? So I used to play. That's him, yes. Or I used to play COD with.
Green.
So these are how your trap tunnels come into your enclosure.
Yeah, man.
This is your enclosure, and I mean, obviously, if you think this is all made of metal or brick or whatever you can get hold of, because you've got to go and farm all the stuff that you need in game. So you've got to have essentially two farmers, two constructors. So once you've got all this built, you're putting down on here. You're putting down full impact floor launchers.
I have 130. I have all impact knockback and 1 durability perk of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So the way that we play this is we've got to play this as a team, right? We need to find out who's got the most in their survivor squads, okay? Because survivor squads are so important. Although I'm a power level 129 right now, I will be dropping down to power level 117. So we're all one shot, so it doesn't make a difference, okay? But I go down to power level 117, but we get 192% trap durability for me doing that. Which means that we only have to put one trap down and it can last 20 rounds. Which means that we don't need to farm as much, we need to farm as much mats, but the mats we use will be used for traps later on, instead of replacing traps in the meantime. So what we now need to do is check who's got the most trap damage, and if they can upgrade any more survivors to get more trap damage and still keep a high enough power level, right? So one person takes all the trap damage, one person takes all the durability, one person takes all the ability damage, and one person takes whatever else you want. Because it only ever takes the person who's got the most amount. It doesn't make a difference if you've got 120% and I've got 196%. Your 120% is null and void because mine trumps yours. So you might as well put something else in place and get more out of it. Because the whole point of this is working out how you do this as a team when all the husks are so much more powerful than you are. So your lobber shield is basically a 1 tile high roof over absolutely everything around you, right? So this just goes out and over all the spawns, right? So this stops all the lobbers and anything that could throw something at you, throwing it at you, right? And wherever the terrain goes up, you need to add in ramps and then take it up so it stays 1 tile ahead, because anything more than 2 tiles and they'll start throwing stuff at it, and over time they will break it. And once you get to level 298, right, literally everything you've done, whether it's tier 1, tier 3, is all one shot.
What, so basically when you get higher level there's no point in upgrading it 3 stages, you might as well do it the one?
Well no, you want it 3 stages. If you're going to be standing on it, you want it 3 stages. If not, then you just leave it as it is one ply.
Yeah.
Right? So as you can imagine, this goes out all the way around. And then like in the north, over here in the northeast, there's a little thing over here because there's another mountain, a little hill where they spawn from. What you've got to do is you've got to make sure that wherever your lobber shield meets the terrain, you're creating a lip, right? So anything that spawns on that falls down. It can't get on here.
Yeah, you're not making a land bridge.
Yeah, that's the one. You're not making a bridge. Then once you've done that, you then put your 45 degrees in. and then you cap it off. Right, and that's enough for a lobby shield. If it's one tile high, they can't get an angle. They've got to move through your trap tunnels, right? And you're doing this all round. There's another one over this side over here. You can also, you know, at the back here, do it at the back, so that anything that, because things spawn really far away from where you're fighting, so you need to make sure that those spawns are covered as well. And then over here, there's a helicopter where you've got to get that bit there like that as well, and then you can go into where it's at like this, and then you've got to sort of do this. You know, this is what you're doing all the way around, so that there is no way that they can just jump across or get across. And then you seal this off with the same thing you did over there with the 45 degrees. This one here needs to go 2 up because the mountain's twice as high. So you might as well just do it all the way across.
And instead, what are they building?
It's just explaining what we're going to be doing on Frostnight in a minute.
So there's a barn just here in the southwest of the complex which needs to be searched, and then it needs to be disappeared. And that's right about and then there's a spawn in the south that's really far out near where Nums is, where you know where the shops are. Yeah, really, really far out. So you've got to make sure that's covered. This is sort of where the barn is right now, or where the barn was. And then you cover all this, just making sure that you've got. And ideally, you want this all to be brick because these all form parts of your trap tunnels in here. So the ceiling is better to be brick, so you've got a little bit more robust stuff. Like I say, these things are fuckers. So this is where Noms is over here. So you need to build. So I build it out really far to make sure that it's covered, and still there's no land bridge, as you say, Noop. Then there is another spawn that's just up here, but what you've got to do. So none of this would be here because all this is actually because there's another mountain here. And then from here you're basically building up and covering this spawn up here 3 tiles high because there's a spawn on the mountain here. Alright, so if you're farming, you don't build anything or any ramps. If you do build ramps, you destroy them. Allow them to get up here, because if they can get up here, then they can attack you from above. And because they are so hard, it's yeah, it's difficult to get away from them. You're one shot from the zappers.
Can't do it. Number 9, Daddy. That's a number 9.
So once you've got all the spawns covered, you've got one person who's doing the trap tunnels, one person who's building the base, and then 2 farmers essentially, so that you've got enough mats to be able to do all this without
standard practice,
yeah,
really, isn't it?
you know, but it's basically you're doing what you would usually do over many missions. You need to do it in one mission, so you don't get the chance to build up your.
So if I'm going to be an Outlander, should I bring Ice Queen instead of...
Ice Queen all the way, right? Because you've got, yeah, definitely. A Fragment Flurry is no good for this because you're not relying on ability damage. You're relying upon the traps that you've set for these things. If you're relying on ability damage, then yeah, Frag Flurry is the way to go. But because you're not, she's not that good at farming. And because of the way that you need to farm for the stuff, you've got to make a decision between what you make, gas traps or floor launchers. Floor launchers is the main strategy here because that's the thing that's actually going to kill them. But you need gas traps to kill the little ones so that we don't die before we get a chance to build all this and have all the defences. Because once the floor launchers are in and there's trap tunnels in, then you can pretty much just walk. The whole idea is after wave 7, you're not even in the vicinity of what's going on. The traps are keeping it for you. You use the teleporter to go and fill the burner so that you don't have to go down where all the takers are who will kill you in one shot. We also set up player jump pads so that we can jump from that top ceiling I've just built up there to the burner without dying, and save a better chance of saving the game getting blue glowing. So sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself. And the sacrifice always goes Outlander, Constructor, Outlander. Outlander can phase shift, because you always choose an Outlander that has a phase shift. So obviously you would be going Striker or Ice Queen.
I can phase shift with any hero, dude. Yeah.
But it's that whole getting away from the takers as quickly as possible.
It's called the Spectral Sword, yeah?
Yeah, I've got that, but the problem with the Spectral Sword is you slow down at the end, and if a taker's chasing you, that slowdown is the time when it will get you.
Right, man, you got 11 I've got 11 casts of my sword, basically. I can go from one side of the map to the other, man, but it's built for, it's just built to get me out of trouble.
Movement speed. Yeah.
There's no movement speed on it. It's energy, heavy attack energy efficiency, double.
I got ya.
So it's 240% heavy attack energy efficiency.
Got ya.
So it doesn't matter.
That's cool.
That thing gets me out of trouble, man. Don't worry, man. I'm a pro at avoiding takers, like, you know. This is quite elaborate, man. This is quite elaborate, I must say, like.
It works.
I know, but it's very material heavy stone. It's all stone, you know. This is all stone, pretty much. So we're just going to be spending all of our time banging on rocks, you know.
Or punching through rocks.
It's just fuck that. There's a cheesier way of doing this, like, you know.
It's more monogamous, isn't it? You know what I mean?
How would you cheese it?
Well, you can just take this down to one level and build your lobber screen up with ramps 5 high all the way around.
You could do.
Wait,
wood. This protects. Yeah, you could build from like the 3rd story up. You could build wood. I'm just building it in brick because I've got it here, and brick is the most abundant thing on that map.
Quite elaborate though. Like...
When I say brick is the most abundant, I did it last night with this method.
no doubt, man, no doubt. How many times have you tried with this method? How many times did you try building like this?
Loads. But
Exactly.
we got this built every time. The issue was dying to takers.
No, but
Which-
you've got a new issue now. Your issue now is people need to learn this build now. That's the issue. You know?
No, I build it.
That's what I'm saying. Blink can get all this up in seconds, sort of thing.
No, not seconds. You can
Right,
see how
you
long it's
know.
taking me to build. If I've got the mats, and I'm building this all from memory. Right, so the reason why you do this is so you can still stand up here and be closer to the boiler. Because if you have your lobber shield directly from that one tile high, you're actually really far away from the burner when shit hits the fan.
You could just plug a teleporter down in the burner, man. Teleport
You
to the
can't,
burner.
right? And here's the problem that we face with the teleporter. Teleporter's glitched. Teleporter's glitched and doesn't work all the time. The amount of times or so we tried this and we failed with less than 10 seconds to go, 2 seconds to go at one point because of a teleporter glitch where we all fell from the sky because we had our teleporter too high.
Whereas that picture showed me with fucking 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds to go. And the 2 seconds came from when we were using the teleporter, and I went into the teleporter. When I came out, I put the blue glow in, and I could see that I needed to build. I stepped back to get my build thing out so I could get in the right position to build, went back through the teleporter, and then ended up falling from the sky from max height. When I landed on the floor, I thought I was going to die, but didn't die. And by that time, well, it wasn't until later that we were trying to use the teleporter, and because they were already glitched, it just didn't work. It was showing as it was on and didn't work, so we didn't get the opportunity to get in and get it done. But yeah, all this the top from the first floor up can all be wood. But the lobber shield that goes one high across everything needs to be brick to make sure that it fits the trap tunnels. So the trap tunnels are more robust. Because all it takes is one hit from any size husk to make it disappear if it's wood.
Okay? I'm keen. Whatever. Let's do it, man. You know, if you're building, there's no point. You don't have to show me how to build anything because you're building it. Like, you know, I'm not going to be.
No,
building
this is just so you know how to play the game.
Should
Because everything then rests on how we play it from when this is built. Because the way the Outlanders play is that one Outlander is out farming but has access to a teleporter that will bring them back. If anything happens with that teleporter, the other Outlander then takes precedence to phase shift and get into the boiler to build around it and put blue glow in it, and then phase shift the fuck out. And I say the reason why you've got this is because you can stand up on here and shoot them with a old Betsy without taking serious damage from them. Whereas if you go with your lobber shield, the distance that you've got to stand away from them, where they don't have a line of sight on you, is pretty far, and you're pretty far away to get there in a pinch if something goes, because it goes down at 20% at a time towards the end. And basically, this is where we play most of the game, up here on this lobber shield, this secondary lobber shield, running around here away from takers. Right, and then once all this is built, we then secure the boiler to the ceiling. Like this. AI. Shoot directly over it. And then you do it from the other corner, the other side, and then you build up from the boiler to that. So if it ever happens that they take out all the defences around it, all you've got to do is come in here and build round, and the constructor's base will still be attached to all the launchers. No, I'm going to say that HQ can't. Doesn't want to play. Oh no, he died. Ah, he died because he fell. But yeah, then you build up to that and attach it to the ceiling so that lobbers aren't taking it out. And then this is your arena essentially, where all your trap tunnels that you do all run into this.
So you're running one constructor and how many outlanders?
You're running 2 constructors and 2 outlanders.
Who's killing the mini boss?
The outlanders, because the outlanders, their main thing is when it's a boss wave, they pull the boss away from the base, so he just doesn't destroy everything by shooting at him and phase shifting away. Now chances are you're not, even using a blunderbuss, you might not be able to kill him for some time. So it's all about phase shifting and evading them just for the whole time. If you can kill them and they're not ricochet, you kill them. It's a 2-hour and 15-minute game.
I know.
If you haven't, if you haven't got the trap damage multipliers to have all your traps be able to do that much damage before they even get towards here, you can't. It's really difficult to do.
Yeah, I will.
Just tell him no,
Without using the floor launchers, because the floor launchers cause fall damage, and fall damage is a percentage damage, not a damage number. Like a gas trap's a damage number. And every time you're bringing them into the enclosure, you give them 2 options to go through. And wherever they get to, they've got a launcher that sends them back to the other side, a launcher that sends them back to the side, and a set of wall lights on the wall behind it to increase the stun time. You then have gas traps or ceiling electric zappers above this one here, because chances are it's only going to be an individual husk that gets here once you've got your spawn trap of gas traps and your little spawn traps that come into these particular areas. And then you have a flame grill trap all the time here, so that you can take out the electric husks, the nature husks, or even 2. And you're using floor freeze traps to increase the impact on the big smashers before they get in here, so these launchers will launch them in the air and cause them damage.
How much have you got left? Show me. Have you had enough?
She just said no.
Huh? But if you've had enough, put it on. Like, empty it all on. No, don't
and you
do
don't
that.
fight it. You're not while the whole round's going on. You're not fighting this. You're not in any way down here having a go, getting involved.
I put that on there.
Everyone's well away and safe. So the way that this is all set up is that if worse comes to the worst, you can phase shift into the roof of one of these and put the blue glow in from the boiler from above.
I'll try. I'm coming now anyway, so I'll take it. No, it's alright. Just get the charger in the phone. I just don't want you hurting yourself by going upstairs. Okay?
Yeah, let's do this then.
You want to have a go?
Yeah, Mum.
Are you going to farm now then, JC, or do you want to build?
I'd rather farm.
Love you, Dad.
Yeah, I'd rather farm. I don't mind doing a bit of like upgrading when I come past if need be, you know what I mean? But I'd rather leave the building skills to you. Are you just messing about there, or is that what you really do?
What, this? Yeah, no, this is what you do, look. Because you're attached, because if, you know, if they take the boiler out from beneath, you've got to rebuild everything. But this way, you only have to rebuild the 4 walls and the 4, ordinarily, you know, not every single time, the 4 walls and the,
Yeah, I get what you're doing now, yeah. So they'll just take the 4 walls and 4 slants maybe, but all the top part will stay on it, yeah.
Mate, I proper thought about this shit, like you wouldn't believe. So this will always remain attached, no matter what happens.
Were you streaming when you completed it?
Not when I completed it, it was fucking 6 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, that's so, because everybody fights from up there on the logger shield.
How'd you get up there?
Over here, dude.
Over here, there's in the corner here, over here. This
Yeah,
gets you
I've
up
been
onto
on
the mountain ledge, yeah, and then there'll be one of these here, where you can go up this, onto here, and then another one here, will take you up here, because they don't walk up this.
Yeah, I think that HQ kept destroying it all after then, or putting holes in.
No, I haven't put that in. So that's how it would be done. So there's now 2 ways we can do it. So the way we get away from takers is on every one of these closest to the boiler, there's a player jump pad which we can jump on if we're constructors, get into the top of the boiler and put it in. We can also jump down onto here, jump on top of the boiler and get in if nothing else is working.
Yeah, Mum.
So this is how we did it last night.
And it were easy from what you were saying, weren't it?
It was ridiculously easy. As long as you're able to kill a load of the husks before they get here, the little small ones, it's only ever smashers that take all this down, and smashers, takers, and blasters don't do any damage to the objective. They just damage the walls and leave it open for the little smaller and huskier husks to walk in and destroy it. You can't be down here because a gunslinger there, one gunslinger shot, you're dead. No matter how strong you are, everything makes you one shot. But it's the whole build up to get to this point and have this all just firing off. So every time the round starts, so everybody has teleporters and slow field. At the beginning of a round, you chuck your slow field in the direction that they're coming in from, and you get out. You can even drop your slow field from up the top. So you can stand up here above where they're coming from, and you throw it down. The resource that's the least amount in the whole place is nuts and bolts. But the main thing is that you have your constructor base, heavy bases attached to that, because it increases the reload speed of all the full impact traps. So these things get launched 8 tiles high.
Yeah, man. What's that one? 2, 3, 4.
So, and all the trap tunnels need to be based off sort of the terrain. And like I said, over here, there's spawns that come from sort of this way. And the way that we deal with those is over the lake, we do this. We try not to use ramps because they walk up the ramps. I don't know how to give people edits in this. How do I give you guys edits and stuff like that? I don't know this. But yeah, so you've got a spawn that comes out from here, which you've got to block off from going around that way, and then you build your trap tunnels here. Right, snaking in. And every time they meet a wall, you put a wall launcher and a wall light. And
yeah, there's a little pit here, isn't there, that we should try and utilise, yeah?
But the pit, after a certain amount of time,
a little
there isn't enough impact happening.
Right here.
Yeah. But the problem with that is that when you get a spawn that spawns too close to all this lot, it just destroys it, and it's just a waste. And after a certain amount of time, there hasn't been enough impact happen to any of the spawn before it gets here for this to have an effect on it. This would be the first impact trap that they come to, therefore the 32k's worth of impact that it does is not enough to reduce 95% of those husks impact counter to be able to do crowd control with them. You won't be able to get crowd control until either here, when they hit with the wall light and the wall launcher, or here, where they hit with the wall light and the wall launcher. But chances are, if they get here, they're going to get launched straight back out here, because their impact counter will still be 0 by the time they've landed here, and then this one would fire off as well, pushing them out. It's all about impact. And obviously your gas traps. Starting off with double crit damage, double crit rating, then ones that are always on, and then another double crit damage, double crit rating, and then the ones that are always on. But every time they come to a wall, it's got to have a wall punch to punch them back and a wall light to increase the impact. You can even put a floor freeze trap at underneath it to make sure you definitely get the impact. And then it's the same with these ones that come in. You're doing exactly the same. You just can't have them too long, because otherwise they just won't follow what you want them to do. Does it make sense?
Does.
Obviously, you've played this game a lot longer than I have. Isn't this just a rehash of the Survive the Storm event they had back in the day?
I don't know if I played Survive the Storm. I can't remember, it's that long ago.
Noob, did you play Survivor Storm?
Bozos.
Yo.
Did you play Survivor Storm?
What's that?
That was the event last
What's that?
Christmas. The event last Christmas.
Yeah, the event last Christmas.
Yeah. I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember it, so I will have done, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Because it's just a rehash of that.
This is by far the most difficult challenge they've put in this game.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in all the time of playing video games. But I mean, have you guys got good trap damage, or, you know, has anybody got ability damage and trap damage in their survivor squads?
I've got trap damage and ability damage in them.
So, how much have you got? Who's got the most? Because that makes a massive difference in this game. Like, the difference
I don't know without looking.
Because your survivor squads count for everybody.
Okay.
This fucking guy here, man.
Pardon? Alright then, come on, let's have a go at this then.
Leave what we're living here.
Whew. Look.
I've left. Just to
Alright, we'll go back to save the world and have a go. So, as it gets a little bit further down, everybody sort of has to take responsibility for trap tunnels, you know? We've got to clear the propane after propane waves, and to do that we use the teleporter. You basically line it up and hit the propane into the teleporter, and the other end of the teleporter is outside the base.
yeah,
After wave 23 and 24, everybody has to be on propane cleanup.
Okay, you alright with that, aren't you? Zombozers?
You know what's going on?
I'll try to remember it, like, but you know.
That's it, drop a teleport, get rid of this propane. Yeah, drop a teleport and then fucking pickaxe the fucking propane to get it out.